This is episode 80.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, Tempo 63.
463, contact the New York Center 128.3.
28-3, Tempo 63, good day. Hello, Captain.
On Approach is a flight sim and aviation enthusiast podcast featuring the week's... Yeah, more on that later. The week's top user submitted stories and news on the SkyLounge.tv. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for another episode of Airplanes, 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 and Airplanes? We're back. Here we go. Lots of airplanes, lots of airplanes. Top left, Mr. Spark Smudge.
I like this.
Hello. So, new t-shirt day, you say?
T-shirt day.
What do we got going on?
We got the evil monkey, evil rhino, the evil elephant, the evil monkey.
So in
From
Jumanji, it's not. They're not drawn like that in the new Jumanji, right? That's just a cool
this is the
concept.
original. This is
It's the original.
Yes.
Which
yes,
I haven't seen yet. I probably should.
You should.
Oh damn! There's Noodle. When you hear that thump, when you hear the thump, that's like Noodle passionate about something. Mr. Kevin, aka the maple syrup can.
What's up?
What's up, man? I'm glad you got your internet stuff fixed. So you're currently running off of your mobile phone?
No, I fixed it. No, I fixed it. It was a software issue. The guys at the Bell Exchange probably like internet speed.
That's what it is, dude. That's it. Welcome to Canada. That's what it is. That's what it is for sure. You're on the green line now.
Yeah.
Mr. Noodle.
Not a new t-shirt day, just
yes.
you know, always a Fallout day.
Because that's home. Yeah, that's home.
Yeah. Granted, this shirt's about the new California Republic or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still, still California,
That's right.
Yeah.
Still, you're missing replacing that star with also a marijuana leaf these days, it seems.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's spreading, right? Like it's everywhere. And I'm driving down the highway here and I see this enormous billboard right outside of Oakland Coliseum, right? And it's like, welcome to Smokeland. And I'm like, come on, man. Don't teach the kids welcome to Smokeland. No.
That's not good.
And of course, all the kids asking. I'm like, oh God, no.
What does that mean?
I can respect it being legal. I can. I have zero personal issue with that. What I think I still have a problem with though is the open marketing of it. Right? Just like I had a problem with the open marketing of tobacco, I have a problem with the open marketing of marijuana use. Like, I think it's perfectly fine for people to be able to do either of those. Whatever, do what you gotta do. Sparky's dying without a cigarette right now. Look how fast he's moving already. But I feel like the marketing aspect, there's straight targeting. There's this other ad with a cool anime chick and like it's advertising like all these flavors at this dispensary. And it's just like, no, bro, you can't do that. Like you're targeting the kids, man. And, they're not old enough to do that. They're not even old enough to choose.
Yeah.
I've yet to see, with something I saw in Ontario, what they like to do, those signs on top of the highway where they can change the light, the LED boards. Don't smoke high.
Oh,
don't leaf. Yeah.
Don't drive high
leaf in the middle. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've seen that because you have the don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, don't drive while you're sleepy. Now they have don't drive high.
Oh my. There's just so much money in that industry. It's wild, bro.
There is.
Wild.
Still totally illegal here.
Totally?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. We've got some updates. I teased at the top of the show about the whole, concept of On Approach is a flight sim and aviation enthusiast podcast featuring the week's top user submitted story. So, you may have noticed we did take an extended week off beginning with our travels to RAF Cosford. And I hope that you enjoyed that wrap-up video that we put up. A bit of a different format there, but it's got some great view numbers and a lot of thumbs up. So we thank you for those that did watch and enjoy that format. We look forward to covering events in that way again the next time, hopefully with more of us together on the microphone so we can really reminisce. You know, you've spoken, we will deliver. If you didn't catch that, it's the previous video, so go and catch that. I'll try and actually link it to the end of this one. But one of the things that we discussed and have been discussing for some time is obviously the difficulties with rounding up a worldwide crew every single week. Additionally, the pace of the flight sim industry sometimes being a little lean and other times being kind of heavy, and our ability to kind of normalize that with the top stories, right? And I think that as a whole, people would prefer to hear us really tackle the top stories rather than sometimes have to shift things that aren't huge conversational pieces into top stories just to kind of get a whole episode out of things. Additionally, on a personal front, you know, doing a podcast every week dives into personal time for about 3 days afterwards, right? It's our recording day, it's our editing, sorry, 2 days afterwards. It's our recording day, our editing day, and our release day. So getting the artwork done, our amazing thumbnails, sometimes made by me, sometimes made by Kevin, and then all the tagging and whatnot that gets that's all part of getting a podcast live. That's all, you know, 3 solid days of work, and then we're back into that cycle like 3 days after, right? Leaving no time for me to stream on Twitch or to do offline flights with our patron supporters or to spend time with family, which is really at the top of that list. So what we have decided is that we will produce an episode of On Approach every other weekend and kick out a podcast for your enjoyment, and we'll be online with a more consistent schedule than we are now, because sometimes it hits Tuesdays, sometimes it hits Wednesday if we have to push it by a day. We are gonna, you know, aim to not push it by a day anymore, to really hit that Sunday night recording window so that we can have a podcast up and online for you by Tuesday morning. So that's the change that you'll see here on Approach. There also is a slight change in the format because we'll have so much news kind of piling up front, and we'll hand pick the top news items. I obviously encourage you now more than ever to really submit those topics that are important to you. But the worth mentioning section at the end, it's near and dear to my heart because I catch all my updates from that worth mentioning. So I never would know that Kansas City International was updated by small developer this if it weren't for that worth mentioning section. So what we're going to do, instead of reading it out, because 2 weeks of worth mentioning is enormous, what we'll do is we'll include it in the show notes and we will leave it at the bottom of the video. So where you see the follow-up on the top stories in the links, you'll also see your worth mentioning, but we will no longer be reading it aloud on the show. So I hope that's all right with everybody. Make sure to leave feedback if you absolutely need to hear worth mentioning read to you. But it won't disappear. It'll be there. We'll keep rounding it up and putting it into the show notes.
Yeah, and it also gives us more time to talk on the subject as well.
More time to talk is good, definitely, especially when you have Noodle on the team.
Maybe, maybe not. I might not say shit.
It's true.
Much. That's the downfall of people when they assume too damn much.
You definitely won't say nothing if it's all P3D news.
You know what we have to do is
P3D news for you haters out there.
What we should do is have a section dedicated to Noodle where he just like reads comments.
Oh, I would do that.
Oh, viewer comments?
You know Let's do this.
Yes.
For you viewers out there. For the viewers out there, who can appreciate a no-nonsense comment, if you would like a small spot in the show or something, do comment, because I have no qualms in doing it.
That's a good one. Direct your questions, literally direct them. Start your comments at Noodle, so he knows 100% that you're directing something real sharp at him and that you want a response. I like that.
Create content.
Go for it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, let's start doing that. Really.
Another big change in the ecosystem of the Sky Lounge is a recent announcement by GameWisp, which all of our supporting patrons will probably have already received an email about, that GameWisp is going to be spinning down operations by January 1. New supporting pledges will be, I think, blocked by the end of November. So we are left needing to find another platform, and I'm happy to report that we have been in discussions with Patreon, and that we will be transferring over to Patreon. Now, for those that have been supporting for a very long time, you'll remember a few years back, we actually started off on Patreon. But at the time, Patreon was young, we were young, and the model didn't really work for us. That's changed. We now have Twitch alerts working from new patron subscribers. We have your renewal alerts working. So for those of you that participate in the twitch.tv live shows, all your alerts will once again show, and they're triggerable by you, which is important because you'll trigger those alerts to celebrate whenever you know we're live and you are there. Additionally, some other changes. Our Gold Club supporters will all have a listing right here on the show. At the tail end, we'll show a credit roll of all our Gold Club supporters to thank you for your support. One other thing that actually will be shifting, and it's an unfortunate one, the monthly prize for the top submitter will be going away. Patreon does not have an infrastructure for us to gift a sub, and until that comes back, we're unable to gift a sub, right? For various reasons, we cannot send money. You know, so we'll need to kind of do away with that, but we'll retain the mention of our top submitters every 2 weeks when we have a live show. So I'm really happy to announce that we'll be moving to Patreon. Now, by the time this is live, the Patreon page should be live as well. So check it out in the link below. And if you believe in our podcast and want to support the good content and a non-commercially influenced conversation, news, opinion, by all means, feel free to support the channel. We value that very much. But that's about it for changes. All right, let's get to the news. But first, a thanks to our popular contributors for this 2-week period. From the top, in a number 1 spot, someone we were able to finally meet in the flesh at RAF Cosford, EAIM 1973. Congratulations on the number 1 spot, sir. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for supporting us and by submitting topics and giving us things to talk about. It was a real pleasure to meet you, and I'm looking forward to next time.
It looks like he likes Rolls-Royce engines. Just saying.
I think he likes Rolls-Royce engines. Followed closely by Mr. Gibbon in the number 2 spot, Mono Blau, Ivana Fly taking up number 4, Pincom 2016. Pincom, who is now in the Gold Club. I must update that, Mr. Pincom. I'll get right on it. Beach 08NH, Dread Metis, S. Simmons 1958, bringing up the number 8 spot. Thank you guys. Remember, without you, we don't have a show, so keep the topics coming. And now on to some top news. Captain Sim says, "Goodbye, FSX. This one submitted by myself as well as IVAO Danny. Technically speaking, he beat me. I think that in the merger of this, it made me beat him, but he actually beat me. This one is submitted by IVAO Danny. Captain Sim posts on their forum, Captains, it's 12, Carl, years since FSX release. Great sim, the last and the best one from Microsoft. Space Shuttle was our first FSX product. We are sure that FSX will continue to fly for many more years, as FS9 does, but it's time to retire FSX officially. Technically, that means no more updates, no new developments for FSX. The last one is 757 Captain 3 for FSX, the upcoming Freighter and 300 expansions. That's it. Goodbye, FSX. To add even more drama, we'd call it the end of the 32-bit era, which means P3D 2 and 3 are retired as well. And I dropped a GIF. Bye, Felicia. As you all know, that's from Friday. Come on.
Thank God.
Wow. IVAO Danny also says Captain Sims officially said it would be retiring P3D 2 and 3 and FSX. Awesome GIF as well. EA says FSX is suffering a slow and painful death. It served us well over the years though. Tomcat says it was the frequent trips to Town that made me move away from the old faithful. Ravel says the future is now. The gifts are amazing. I Blue Yonder says I loved FSX, but as a dev I have to say good riddance. It's getting very hard to support it while also concentrating on the additional features and requirements of the latest 64-bit sims. Time to give 32-bit a rest, guys. Glory awaits. IVAO Danny responds, I'm going to have to put some big thought into where to go next. P3D or X-Plane? Flight Sim Production says, adios FSX. Thank you for the high blood pressure. Thank you for trying to teach me patience. It didn't work. When you worked, you were a thing of beauty. When you didn't, you were the biggest piece of boop I've ever owned. It's with bittersweet feelings, more bitter, that I say goodbye. And Steve Simmons says, see ya and bye-bye FSX. Guys, what do you think?
I think Flight Sim Productions... I think his comment sums it up for everyone. When it worked, it was great. When it didn't, you were pissed. You know?
It's still that way today. Let's be frank. Like, in all, well, not I wouldn't say all platforms, but at least in P3D and X-Plane, because that's what I know. There are still issues, maybe less than there were before, but you know, we're still in the same boat. I think. In terms of performance, stutters, and optimization, we still spend more time tweaking our things than actually flying.
But it's good to see this, that someone's really coming out and putting the foot down. And, you know, there's going to be people who are resistant to it. And we're still going to see people post about looking for new products for FSX. But, you know, it's like what some of these guys here are saying, it's time to let go. You need to move up to the new. You just have to. You have
I have like a first-hand experience of this because some of you will know, and at Cosford I released essentially our first P3D only software, right? Getting rid of FSX. We announced that last year. Getting rid of FSX, only concentrating on new platforms. And as soon as we released it, a lot of people were very mad. I got some like very directed emails from customers saying like, "Oh, you're abandoning FSX users. You're some of them were very harsh. They were like, "You're what was that? I can't remember what it says. It was very harsh and very like disrespectful." Some people are very passionate about it, just like they were with FS 2004, and I think we're seeing the exact same thing with this. Same thing that happened with FS 2004.
Yeah, it's about time. It's definitely about time that people, you know, stops. You know, you're still going to have the old guard. They're going to be out there with FSX and FS9 and going, oh, you know, we're not being supported anymore. You just got to move with the times, man. It's, you know, the developers are finding it harder and harder develop for 32-bit and 64-bit. You know, you've got to just cut the cord at some point and say, look, we're just going 64-bit now. It's easier for us. We can get more out of it, and that's where we're going. Sorry, FS9, FSX, P3D 2 and 3 users, but we just can't support it anymore.
You had 2 decades.
Yeah.
You know, you had 2 decades. I mean, really?
Yeah, my question now to everyone is like, who, and write it down in the comment below. I'm very curious to see that. Who is going to be the next one to drop it? PMDG,
Ooh.
Flight Sim Labs.
That's a good question.
In the air, I'm looking more into the airplane department because we haven't seen that move in airplanes that much yet.
PMDG.
See who's next. My bet is on PMDG and Flight Sim Labs, but you know, I wouldn't know. CARENADO would be definitely the last one on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it boils down to complexity, right? And most definitely the higher up on that complexity list you go, the higher the probability that they're going to drop FSX first. That's a very good question for the community, and we'll look for those answers. We'll look for those answers down in the comments below. Great one. You know, I really don't have much to say. I've gotten a lot of flack for for writing off FSX verbally many times. So bye. My gift says it all, bro. Bye, Felicia. It's time to move on. You got to keep up with the times. And I get that some people may not have the hardware accessible to them to keep up with it, but you know, no hobby is going to be stagnant forever, right? Every hobby that you ever take on is going to have advancement, and if it doesn't, I mean, really, you should probably rethink the hobby. But you know, it's going to have advancement, and you've got to be ready to kind of keep up with that, or to be perfectly content where you're at, but to understand that you're going to miss out on some of the future technologies. Flight One shows off new purchasing agent. Welcome to 2018. Everybody.
God damn.
Super exciting to see another dev and distributor adapting to this model, especially Flight One, because come on. How about that wrapper? Who loves their current wrapper? Nobody.
They're rapper.
Nice. The Flight One purchase agent is Flight One's next generation e-commerce platform. This dynamic application is built with some of the best features of the classic Flight One wrapper in mind. Please forget all about them. Forget the Flight One wrapper ever existed. There are no best features in that wrapper. No. Take the wrapper. If it's made out of flammable material, set it ablaze. Forget about it. Start fresh. Don't even mention the word wrapper in the release of this new thing. Don't even. In fact, in your boardroom meetings, don't even say the word wrapper anymore. With many new features to enjoy, including multiple stores within the agent, easy management of all your orders, view videos in our live capture option, and more.
What the hell is that live capture?
I don't know. That's kind of interesting, though. What would it capture videos of? Like recordings of your screen? That's actually a little bit scary. That's a little scary, right? That would be scary. I think that would be scary. I think I'm okay with NVIDIA being able to record my screen, but I don't know about a vendor.
Flight One?
I don't know. Yeah, our live capture feed is a unique way to view captured video associated with a product.
Okay.
Wait. So maybe they mean it's a feed of like people's YouTube uploads with a string search, you know, like, yeah, that's probably what it is. I doubt it's like live capture from like your desktop or something. I doubt it.
I don't know.
I was thinking that's probably exactly what it is. It's going to be, you know, you open it up to purchase something. Oh, let's see some feeds. Let's see if someone's done any videos. Instead of searching, you go to the wrapper. It's there without having to hunt
the wrapper.
The rapper.
So,
rapper.
So I just had one heck of a time with installing a product through the Flight One store. A big shout out and thanks to the folks at Quality Wings. They provided me with a 787 to showcase on stream for you all. And they sent accidentally the FSX version. And I specified the P3D version. So here I am, and there's no indication at all. Like in the Flight 1 store, it says 787 collection, right? Whatever. Doesn't say FSX or P3D in the order. So I download the P3D installer, and this is all part of the problem of letting you download an installer first, and like you have whatever installer you grab, you have it, but then you have a key. And the key wasn't working. The key wasn't working. The key wasn't working. So I write support after some time. And I say, my only thought is, this key is not associated with this product. The errors were cannot connect to server. The errors were never, this key is not for this product. So in my initial email to support, I say this key is probably for the FSX version. I required a P3D version. Can you please verify that this is for the P3D version? 2 days later, a bunch of emails back and forth. They made me create another Flight 1 account, then another Flight 1 account, then try various keys, then log into this, then log into that. Finally, someone out of the blue responds to the ticket and he's like, oh yeah, it looks like that's the FSX version.
Oh,
it's like that experience was like, I wanted to put, I literally wrote back and was like, I really wish that the initial person that received my ticket read it, because I outlined clear as day in a separate sentence, please verify that this key is for the P3D version. I believe it's for FSX. And it's like, that's the problem with that whole wrapper scenario and how they have it now. It was like, do I use a serial number or this key file or this or online verification? I don't care, guys. Just make that easy. Make installing easy. Again, no, don't say that.
I hope it's better.
Just
because the problems I was getting, you know how you can save your key, it saves your install product key on your system. Well, when there was been a number of times where I wanted to reinstall something, or I screwed up the install, whatever, I would try to use that and that wouldn't even work. I'm like, well, wait a minute, this is my information, right? This is my key to my account, because you still have to verify by you log in, and it still wouldn't work like 50% of the time. So I hope this new purchasing agent is refined.
Me too.
It
Bravo
needs to be refined.
For giving it a shot. Bravo. Make it amazing, please. Save us from the current setup. And on to someone else. Moving forward into this century, CARENADO launches a new website. What do you think? Giphy replies, please. Oh my god. Like, this is incredible. Finally. Yes. Finally. Like, this is just like, brr, Dirty South, not that impressed. Spark Smudge drops the mic. I mean, it's just, I've got to say, welcome to this century, CARENADO. It was a pleasant surprise when I went to check out what the latest and greatest CARENADO was, and I was greeted with this. Definitely much better than it used to be. I'm really, really happy, because it was a little bit painful before.
It's cleaner. It's laid out well. The icons or pictures, GIFs, or whatever you want to call them for the aircraft are much better. Just maneuvering around is a lot better. I like this new format. And
ooh, do you look at this? Outside picture to inside picture as you hover. That's a nice touch. That's a really nice details. I like details.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on the site, I have to say.
Yeah,
they put some thoughts into this, a lot, and I really appreciate the job that they've done with it.
Very clean, easy to read.
Yeah,
great screenshots.
One thing I like about this too, which I hate with a number of sites, is You know, I like now you have an option of how many products you want to see on the screen. You know, so therefore it'll tile or whatever based on the amount of products to be shown on your screen. I hate going to sites when I want to purchase something and there is no filter option to show at least, you know, a small picture of the products. I hate having to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. Then next page, scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. So a lot of people probably would look at this like, oh, so what? Well, it's a convenience factor, you know, and it just shows another level of your customer support that you're willing to make changes to make navigating our site and getting to the products you want a bit easier. So good on you.
I love the sorting and I love this, but is anyone surprised that when you sort by popularity that the classic Grand Caravan is #1? Is anyone not surprised by that?
No, it is. I'm not surprised.
Like, you know it is, right? This thing's a beast, bro. It's an absolute beast. And I wouldn't be surprised if on Aerosoft you could sort and the Twin Otter wouldn't be the #1.
Yeah.
The Twin Otter just doesn't age. You know, it's legendary, and the plane still to this day looks good. But not surprised at all. Yeah, bravo, CARENADO. Nice work, man. Nice work. Yep. I like seeing these advancements by developers. It's happening more and more these days. I feel like there's just been a shift in gear.
You know what the next step for CARENADO I feel should be is a unified installer, FTX central type of application where you can update all your planes, because they have a lot of products. And it would be nice to round them up together in one big installer.
I like that concept. I mean, Orbex has like that for their scenery, right? But in the aircraft world, you could easily call that like your virtual hangar, right? Like manage your hangar.
Yeah. Builders are doing that now. They've got their own program.
They do. Yeah.
Does all the updates for all of their products.
Nice.
That sounds good, but I disagree.
Oh yeah? Pourquoi?
Update your systems game, bruh. Bringing the systems up, please.
Okay, so you're saying they're on a good path. Keep on that path and update their systems too. So,
yes. Bring up that game. You brought up everything else. Bring that game up.
This DA62 though, that's a nice one.
Let's talk about game on that.
That's a nice one.
Yes.
It's a nice one. JUSTFLIGHT Duchess Model 76 just announced another dual prop beauty coming from JUSTFLIGHT, the Model 76 Duchess. I hope you're liking the look of our Duchess Model 76, currently in development and due for release for P3D and FSX quite soon. Here are some of the latest screenshots. Let's have a look. Okay, that's a bit of a boxy one, huh?
Square, but I don't know if I like it. I really don't know if I like it.
Comparable to the 310-ish? Maybe smaller. Maybe smaller.
No, it looks small. It's a trainer for sure.
This is kind of a smart 4.2 compared to a Honda Civic. You know, that would be a typical plane. That thing looks super tiny. Like,
it does. I love how worn that looks. You see all the little bits of tape and stuff and little scratches. I think, like Sparky says, right? It's a trainer.
Yeah, you'd find this at your local aerodrome. You know, it's just your twin-engine trainer.
Yeah, yeah.
You have carb in this thing? Probably.
Yeah. If you look down on the center stack.
Down
below the controls.
Oh yeah.
Dude, look how fast Noodle picks up system shit. Here's how this works. Here's exactly how this works. You ask if there's carb heat. My eyes go down to this lower corner and start scanning from the left. My eyes stopped at this and said, "Ooh, that's nice. That's some nice wear and tear." And then as I scanned, my eyes stopped down here and I was like, "Oh, that's more wear and tear. That's nice." And then my eyes stopped on the gold. By then, Noodle's already like, "Yeah, look down on the center stack." Like, that's how fast. What was that bird? Sparky is a magpie, right? Like shiny things.
He's a magpie. Yeah, he likes shiny stuff.
My goodness.
But that yoke, though, let's go back to that yoke. I feel like if you could have that, it would be framed on your wall.
I would frame that on I would love that.
That's your kind of yoke.
I love that yoke. That's just classy, bro. That's classy.
Reminds me of something like an old Lincoln that I would like, something like that.
So JUSTFLIGHT did the 152. JUSTFLIGHT is doing this one. Seems very trainer-like. I think Sparky is spot on with that. Very trainer-like. That's interesting. They're kind of getting into those early sentimental planes, because when you train to get your license, like those planes that you do that in are sentimental. They have a sentimental value to people. That's a good angle. That's a good angle, JUSTFLIGHT.
It looks good though. I must say, JUSTFLIGHT recently, they started with the Piper. Now they're getting.
Oh, that 152 is nice, bro.
That
Beautiful flight model.
Yeah, the modeling, the textures. I don't know how it flies. I've not flown them, but it definitely good job on them. They're missing a pilot in there though.
No
I must
pilot.
Say.
Rogue plane. Shoot it down. Maybe it's actually a drone.
Maybe. We don't know.
No CARENADO brothers in this one.
Yeah.
No CARENADO brothers. That's some good detail. Look at the tire.
Yep.
Great
good
detail.
bump map and everything. Yeah.
This is really nice, but the only thing I have a problem with this, really, and it just comes to, as an overall briefly, is that there are a lot of developers out there doing these style of planes, and if you just take a moment, step back, and you look at all the people who are making these planes and all, they all roughly look in the same. We're talking about 50s, 60s, maybe mid 70s planes and all. Granted, they're great, they're historic, they did a lot, but I would love to see a nice shift to more modern trainer or newer aircraft, provided that aircraft material and the details, are available for public consumption. But I would love to see more of that. I think this is great, don't get me wrong, but I would like to see more modern things of this nature. So, that's one thing I've been wondering for the longest time, is when and if someone's going to start making more modern style aircraft like this.
Like
if
what?
Give
examples.
So CARENADO's on the DA62. You have Aerobasque that is taking on some of the newer model aircraft that are out there. So, things like that. I would like to see more of that. The nostalgia is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for nostalgia. But at the same time, I think we just have this huge flood of aircraft of this nature, and we don't see anything, like Edson. Like, he goes for the new and shiny. I think we deserve to start seeing some new and shiny aircraft. Let's, from the 80s up, I'm just curious, wondering, when we're going to see that. So
Edson's still in the 60s. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Have you seen my house, bro?
Yeah, I have.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you breaking news. We're ready to launch on Patreon, baby. So we're live. Patreon is for sure live. We just got the message. Very excited to be moving our patronage over to that platform. Look, let's be real. I don't think we can count on 100% transfer, of our patrons, but I hope that with a little bit of effort, we can get close to that. Please, if you are a patron, head over and cancel your patronage on GameWisp, or understand that it will be canceled for you next month. It will be auto canceled. You will not continue to get billed after the company closes down. And continue your patronage over on Patreon. So thank you guys again for your continued support. Those of you on the fence, maybe you want to try it out. Show some love for a podcast you love. Head over to patreon.com/theskyloungetv and show your love. Thank you guys. And thank you, Patreon. Milviz preview T310R rain effects in X-Plane 11. This one submitted by Mr. Gibbon. Oh, announced back in June at FS Expo. Word of the Milviz T310 for X-Plane has been sparse until now. Over on their Facebook page, Milvis posted a preview featuring windshield rain effects in their upcoming aircraft for X-Plane 11. Dang.
Yes.
I'll leave that right there.
Boom, mic drop.
Whoa.
I'm very happy to see Milvis on the X-Plane side. Very excited about this. It looks gorgeous.
That looks nice. That looks nice. And here's another nice tidbit about this plane, right? This plane's physics model is being fine-tuned by none other than our friend Mr. Rush, aka Aerosim Gaming. So you best believe on the X-Plane side, this plane will be absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah,
it looks really good.
I got to fly it with one engine out.
There's no rain. There doesn't seem to be any rain effect on the side window here.
There are some.
There's some drops.
Droplet at the top.
Little drop up there. Little drops here on the metal.
Yeah. Depends on how it was falling.
I just thought that was a dirty window.
You sound like Wrigley's spearmint gum commercial there. Oh no, it's is it Mentos? Who? Dirty Mouth? Who did that commercial? Mentos, right? Yeah. Mentos. Dirty Mouth.
or was it Mentos or maybe Juicy Fruit?
No, I think it was Mentos. It was the circle things. It was Mentos. That's Mentos.
Yeah, it had to be Mentos. Yeah.
Dirty Mouth.
What did you put in Coca-Cola to make a volcano?
Yes. Dude, this looks amazing. I mean, we really don't even need to drill down on this. It speaks for itself.
One thing I just had a thought of is ray tracing for raindrops like this must be absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
because because the way it's rendered right now is kind of a post process. Like the droplets behind the compass at the top, you see some black edges on some of the droplets surrounding it. But that's just the nature of it, right? We can't do better than this with the technologies we have right now. But this with ray tracing, oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But let's not even get into that until we have the next generation of NVIDIA cards. Let's be honest. The 2080 Ti is bullshit price. So let's wait to the 3000 series and then talk ray tracing. That's just, yeah.
So for those of you that are tuned in audio only, guys, gals, you gotta click the show notes and look at this screenshot. It's like that.
Milvis 310.
The variety of reflections in this screenshot is just amazing. Mm-hmm. None of these are like it's organic. It's so real. The weird reflections happening. Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I can't find a pattern.
I know. I cannot. CDN Kavik says, sweet. Let's Sky 5 that right there. Mr. Gibbon, thank you very much for that topic. A wonderful submission. That needs more Sky 5s. Head over and show the love for Mr. Gibbon. Sky Simulations MD-11 V2 released. So this one causing quite a stir online because we all know we're all waiting for an MD-11 from who?
Rotate.
Rotate. God dang, Sparky, what the... Rotate? Have you switched completely to X-Plane, bro?
Rotate.
No, but I am waiting for the Rotate MD-11 and I will drop my monies on it.
Yeah.
Day one.
This one, on the other hand, will not be getting my monies.
Oh. This is all like I'm caught off guard here. I thought we were gonna start screaming PMDG.
I tried to contain that. I honestly tried.
Let's have a look. This one over on Sim Market for $41.99. That's euros, ladies and gentlemen. That's euros. Let's look at some screenies. Ooh, not the best screenies, guys. Put it in developers.
Taken in FSX. Just by the first picture, I know that was taken in FSX.
Developers, no potato sim photos. You know, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Now you know what I feel about the MD-11. I love the MD-11.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've looked into this one. It uses a very basic FMC.
Okay.
If Noodle is not systems based, this is going to be literally almost default 747, 737 quality. From what I understand, I don't know. I don't own the product, so I'm only going by from what I've read and what I've seen. So I'm going to hold out for the MD-11
cargo variant.
Yeah.
It still doesn't excite anyone. It's still, I'm like, cargo variant? No, still silent.
Here's what I'm getting at this price point is this falls in the realm, and I think this is what Sparky was kind of saying, of SimLight. And I think we have seen that with other developers who have created aircraft, and you know they're a balance to get people who like that plane in, but don't want to get too heavy into the system. So it's, you know, SimLight. That's how I'm seeing this, really. This is a SimLight MD-11. And also, I think it was a good way of getting their toes into the water and basically saying, haha, we have an MD-11 in V4. And I think people are going to go for that. I think there's plenty of people out there who want this plane. It's such a workhorse. It's great for a lot of things, that they probably recognized it and did what they needed to get this out there for people to consume, since, you know, there really isn't any others available for prepared. So, and I'm with Sparks. I'm waiting for the rotate. So,
well, do we know that the rotate is going to be actually more in depth than this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've got to take a look.
I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to easily be, my opinion, since we're not there yet, and I can't wait to talk about it when it does come. I feel when the rotate thing comes out, it's going to be an easy $75 to $80 bird.
Ooh, wow.
I'm putting it out. I'm saying it now. 75 to 80. And there goes my camera. What the heck? So I think it's going to be that. My camera's going nuts this evening. I have no idea why.
I'm going to be that guy. Like, I think I'm going to scoop this up. I think from a production value, look, the people that watch me live on Twitch aren't watching me for my use of the FMC. They're not. I actually hide that for the most part by using an FMC on my iPad here and typing everything in there. And most people are seeing outside views and you know, captain views. I might scoop this up, but I have to look at some more screenshots and be convinced that it'll look better in my sim, because like these just aren't doing it justice, and I'm scared a little bit from the visual standpoint. Although I can tell myself, look, man, this is gonna look so much better in your sim, Edson. But I don't think that that's a $45, $48 risk for me that I want to take. So if anybody out there watching already jumped on this and has a halfway decent looking P3D installation, by all means head over to our Discord. The link is down below. Head over to our Discord and drop some screenshots in there. Spam it up. We have a great screenshots area. Spam it up with screenies it is, because I am interested. Quality Wing Simulations BAE 146 in beta for P3D V4. Wait. Let's rewind that a bit. Let's let Noodle announce this one, because I want his excitement on this one. Are you ready, Noodle? It's all yours, sir.
I'm going to attempt to dial down my excitement on this next post. Quality Wings Simulations BAE 146 V4. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and continue in this, Edson, if you could please click. Let me just things before we really dive into this. This plane is near and dear to my heart. I love its look. It reminds me of so many things. I envy basically the European community who have had this plane in your backyards, so to speak, you know, in the air for years. We colony folk, that is America, we didn't get to see this.
And South America too. We got this too.
And South
all
America
over the
got
place.
it. But here in North America, the 48 contiguous, we didn't get the beauty of this plane. And there were only 2-3 like charters or whatever that kind of flew this. Maybe I think there might have been 1 or 2 main airlines that had it, but in the end we didn't have this. So I envy the European community and the South American community who have had this bird in their skies for ages. Sad that it's gone. This was my first payware in FSX. When I found out it was there, I jumped down the quality wings, and it was my first payware for FSX at the time. Deluxe edition, gold. I still have the CDs. So for ages, I've been waiting for this to get updated and all, and it got the back seat. But now it's coming to V4, and we did what we could to make it work in V3.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh my God!
One week it would work for me. The next week it would work for Noodle, and it would stop working for me. Oh my God, it was bad.
Exactly. So this is the one plane that's going to have me reinstall Prepared, because right now I'm not using it because I was having some issues and I was just a little upset. So I uninstalled it, Prepared as a whole. But I knew I was coming back because I've been waiting for this. And now that this is closer, hurry up before
and the thing is, it was so close to working that it was just enough to see it in the sim. But like, you remember the hacks, dude? It was like, oh, you have to have the font. The correct font has to be installed, and this and that. And like, one day the FMC would work, the other day it doesn't. It's just, it was so wacky. You know, near and dear to my heart as well. Look, you know, being South American, I got to see many of these. I've got to walk in these. I've got to fly in these. I've got to walk around these on the ground. It's one of the because the Otter is another one. It's one of the only planes I own multiple copies of. I purchased 2 Quality Wings copies in order to try to get it to work correctly, thinking, I don't know, maybe it's my damn installer. Let's buy another copy. But not only that, I also bought the version by JUSTFLIGHT.
JUSTFLIGHT? We both got it.
JUSTFLIGHT. Yeah, we both got it. Because I was like, yo, Noodle, check this out. We could get our fix with the JUSTFLIGHT one. And, you know, and we did for some time. We did for some time. But, you know, guys, to our friends at Quality Wings, I know I bugged you. I bugged you on Facebook posts. I bugged you on Facebook private messages. I bugged you in person at the expos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bring back the BAE, baby. Let's do it. That's my bait. That's my bait.
This brings so much joy. You don't even know. I'm not lying. That brings me so much joy knowing this is coming back.
As I was saying earlier with the MD-11, I'm not going to drop my money on that. But the BA, yeah, let's get my money.
The American Riviera. Welcome, KSBA Santa Barbara. Ooh, this one from our friends at Orbex. Yow, Santa Barbara, that's SoCal, looking so nice.
I've flown into Santa Barbara so many times. It's just down the way from the main city of LA, and it's, you know, it's such a nice area. It's right on that little, it's a beautiful area.
Look at that. They're gonna do the whole approach. That's gonna be nice to get those mountains done, man.
Dude, I want a house at the top of one of those mountains.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
The view must be unreal.
I know, right?
Like, good job, Orbex. I mean, that's the region they covered there.
Yeah, absolutely
gorgeous. I want that.
Looks like they're gonna do a ranch, downtown Santa Barbara, Montecito, Chacuma Lake. Oh, that's actually nice because that'll give us a place to land the seaplanes. Crawford Airport. Oh wait. Oh,
2 airports.
So 2 airports.
It seems to be on the line, though.
It is right on the line, isn't it?
Is it just I think it's just an indicator of where it is. I don't think it's a custom airport.
You know, I don't even know if I've flown into here on just default stuff. I have no idea.
That's beautiful. That terminal is beautiful.
Oh yeah. A lot
That
of
really
details.
is.
The architecture looks beautiful on this thing.
Yeah.
Transparent jetways, so we can see those open hands
Sure
very
can.
well.
Those open G. Hey, there's a sweeper man. Hey, sweeper man. My man never stops working. The hustle is strong with this dude right here. Every time you see him, he's never on his cell phone. He's always sweeping. Always.
That's an employee.
He's always sweeping air.
Yeah, he's always. He is
The
always
very
sweeping
same
air.
specific region.
Yeah. He is always sweeping air.
This is gorgeous, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have a GA area.
A GA area and some regionals.
You got a FedEx area there.
Wait, what? Where?
You got a FedEx area.
Oh, have you got one? I don't know. But you can be damn sure the feeders make their way here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at the inside. Nice detail work up top
yeah.
as well. Nice.
The windows.
Oh my.
Oh,
They got all the
There's some
artwork.
Crazy,
Oh my.
crazy steps. Look at those crazy steps.
They had full access for this, man.
oh
This
yeah.
is beautiful. Oh, look at the stone wall.
Very
Nice.
good. Detailed cars. We're starting to get brands
Nice
too.
cars.
More
Wait,
and more
that's,
brands. Lexus.
That's a Lexus.
Yeah, more and more brands are coming. I think we'll soon be seeing the disappearance of these boxy vehicles as they're replaced with things like this.
Yeah.
Lincoln this year. Like beautiful.
Any FedEx? No, but private jets. Private jets.
Yeah.
Private jets. Oh, you're gonna have private
wow.
jets coming in here. Yeah, for sure.
He seems angry.
The trees though, they made a good job with them too.
Beautiful.
Is that coming
palms.
to X-Plane, you think?
Yeah,
In
all their
time.
stuff will be. All their
Yeah, in
stuff
time.
will be. Atlantic, FBO.
Yeah. That'll be beautiful on X-Plane. Can't wait.
Wow, talk about cars. Sheesh. And the viewing
lot.
area, nice. Ooh, that's a good plane spotting area. Every airport needs this, man.
Yeah, that is a nice one.
Impressive. 2 gates, 3 gates, 3 gates. Not bad.
It looks
FedEx,
gorgeous.
FedEx.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right. FedEx is beautiful
There's-
because it gives us a reason to fly from anywhere to anywhere, and I just love it for that. Right? When no one can come into your stream and be like, "Well, technically speaking, an American Airlines plane wouldn't fly from." Well, shut up, bro. I'm flying FedEx. I fly wherever I want. The world is on time.
UPS
There's-
is better though.
There's something about the density of that airport that I like, that I don't see really often. It just struck me. There's something about the density of that scenery, the proximity of all the stuff. It's really
Flight
unique,
school.
in my opinion.
Cool.
I think I see what you mean, because now that you mentioned density, it kind of gives it a different feel.
Feels
I
very
guess.
real.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very different. You're right, because looking at it, it's like something. There's something.
There's something different about this one compared to the
Yeah.
other ones.
Oh, parallels.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Orbex, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Usual stuff.
Fantastic. A+. On to the next one. This one submitted by EAIM. Oh my god, Sparky, how did he pronounce his name correctly?
I would say AIM.
I said AIM, and you have to correct me in the comments, please, because you did tell me how to pronounce it, and of course I'm still gonna say EAIM.
Or it's EM.
EM, I think it was. I think it was EM. EM 1973 submits this topic: fly inside flight simulator. So currently open beta early access, this flight simulator, which may look like it's based on FSX, but apparently is completely fresh, ground up, is built for VR. It's built for VR. You're able to kind of see your hands inside this virtual space. It's not the plugin that they're known for. It is a completely new simulator.
Yeah. I guess. So I've tried it at Flight Sim Con a year ago, and obviously it was not even close to being like even alpha, right? It was very promising from what I saw. For VR purposes, that being said, I don't know much about that simulator, but it looks and feels like FSX to me, like a pimp
early FSX.
Yeah. There are some cool things that they built on there. There's a lot of cross compatibility that I see, but yet again, I don't know much about that sim. And looking at the buildings that they have, it feels to me like I'm playing Lock On. You know, that old game that Eagle Dynamic made. It feels like I'm playing that game. So I think they still have a lot of work to do on it if they want to compete with other sims out there, like Aerofly, that's really good at VR. And eventually DCS. You know, if we have something good coming, I want to see the world in DCS. That would scale the thing up by like a lot in my heart. But I don't know where that thing stands like in the stack of simulators that we have right now.
What we need, can we get the guys that fly inside to post a screenshot with the big blue hand giving us a Sky 5?
Yeah, or yeah, something like that.
That'd be good. That'd be good. You know, I'm curious. I mean, obviously, like I'll encourage anything fresh to start up, and I know right now it may still have that vibe of FSX. But a little tweaking in shaders, a little adjusting here, a little adjusting there, a little
remember, though,
advancement, and you know, we might be somewhere different soon.
You've got to remember, if this is purely for VR, they're going to have to keep those frame rates fast. So they're not gonna probably add too much of it. They don't want to start lowering frame rates when you're flying in VR. They're going to keep it as fast as possible.
Yeah, at the same time, when you look at DCS and Aerofly, you can get good visuals while retaining frame rates. It is absolutely possible.
True.
And looking at what this is right now, while it has more frame rates than any other sim out there, I'm on board with that. I don't feel like visually it works out for me. I'd rather be in P3D or X-Plane with better visual, less frame rate, but like subspace warp. And like, I don't know, I value more visuals than frame rates for some reason, even in VR.
Those trees, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's very interesting that the aircraft models look great. I mean, heck, they showed like the TFDI.
They did. This is the Milvers right here.
Right. So they obviously have the right people involved, or maybe is it just screenshots from the Fly Inside program just being ran, you know, inside, say, FSX or P3D, but as a flight sim on its own for VR purposes, I don't know, and I kind of feel the same. It's going to take a lot to get balanced on high quality visuals and maintain the frames, because when you're talking VR, and you know, we all have our tastes. Like you're saying, you in VR, you like the quality and the frames, you know, so long as it's acceptable. But like for me, like when I'm in DCS and I throw on VR, I try to strike the balance, but a little more on the FPS for it to be smooth. So good luck, really. And if it open beta, I'm willing to give it a shot and throw into my VR and see how it feels, but I don't know.
The last thing I'd say about this is, it might be really good to fly in VR, but the thing is, you don't always want to fly in VR. And if you don't fly in VR in it, I feel like it doesn't have a reason to be.
Moldova scenery design shows. Yeah, we're not going there. LRIA previews. Lassie. Over on our Facebook page, Moldova Scenery Design has posted 26 new work in progress previews of their upcoming Lassie International scenery for P3D V4. Those words from our friends at FS Elite. Let's have a peek. Oh, hello sky texture. I'm sorry, it's the first thing I noticed, but that's a really pretty sky.
It is.
Very detailed models. Very detailed. Look at the dang banners, bro. Look at
To be
this.
honest with you, if you told me this was an Orbex scenery, I wouldn't think any different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very well done.
There's a touch of photoreal blend. I think that's the only way I can describe it. That's missing, right? Like there's just a dirtiness, a grittiness that comes with kind of like real life.
On the ramp and stuff.
Yeah, like the ramp. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, like the ramp and like the roads and the streets. Like it's missing that little bit of real world grittiness. But that's okay. I mean, look, in the sim world, you know, I'm sure for screenshots and purposes of flight, it looks fantastic. But it's just like they're so close because the modeling is absolutely stunning. It really is. And if they were to kind of hone in on that little touch of grittiness that's needed for a realistic texture, yeah, like they would just bump it up another notch. It's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's work in progress as well.
But for a work in progress, this looks very good.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
Very
maybe they're trying to add some, you know, wear and tear textures to it. I don't know. That could be the final piece of it. For a work in progress, though, I agree it's pretty far down, and I'm happy that some developers wait till that moment before releasing.
Hopefully, where that helicopter is, that will actually be a helipad.
Yeah.
The texturing of a lot of the stuff is very crisp. I mean, or maybe it's just the way the system that they use to take these shots are. But if this is something that's obtainable, even if you're not rocking an overly expensive rig, I mean, wow. I mean, that looks solid.
Again, details, right? Look at this generator, bro. Look at this generator.
That's the one I've been staring at. That
they didn't need to put all these decals and stuff, but it's crisp. Like that's legible, 100% legible. Everything. Look at the labels on this damn cart, bro. It's all legible. This is crisp. It's beautifully, you know, detailed work. Ooh.
Oh, reflections. Ooh.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Wow.
Dang.
Okay.
Man, yeah, this is this one to keep an eye on right here, man.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Moldova scenery design. Sometime next week for the release at €14. Ladies and gentlemen, that's another one for the $20 club. That is another one for the $20 club.
Where's this
For the price, yes.
Romania.
Romania, hey.
Yeah, I'm down.
More airports or areas that don't get any love, and hey, this brings you to fly into a whole new country.
Yep. Have a Sky 5, Gibbon. Thank you. Last but not least, this one submitted by Dreadmetis. Vertical Simulations, Rhode Island TF Green Airport. Well, what else to say? Vertical Simulation is releasing a depiction of KPVD Rhode Island's International Airport TF Green Warwick. As you can hope from a payware in X-Plane 11, the product has use of PBR materials, objects and vehicles are custom, and AFCAD up to date. You can find the airport for around $15 at the X-Plane store or from Sim Market. Let's have a peek.
That looks pretty good.
Another one in the $20 club. I see that just has some soul. You see, it's those marks. It's all that grittiness. It's all of the fluids that dripped off of planes. It's off of the marks, the stains from being picked up on the tires of ground vehicles and transferred over from one place to another. It's the wear and tear.
This is the quality I expect from X-Plane.
Yes. That's one long jetway. Look at that jetway. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? You know,
I was like, what the f are you talking about?
With how I feel sometimes walking to those more remote terminals in international airports, it feels like the jetway is that long.
I don't know what would be worse, something like that, or say like Schiphol, if I'm even saying that right, how you have that real long taxi. Schiphol.
Yeah, the taxi.
That's like what, a half hour once you land to get to the terminal?
Look at all the asphalt repairs. That's sweet, bro. That's sweet.
Looks nice.
Ooh, talk about runway repairs. Look at all those marks. Wow.
There's a lot of tar being thrown in there.
Are we talking about $15, $14, or was that euros?
$15.
That's dollar. $15 GI.
Yep.
Dang.
That's good.
That's good. Delta. I saw United Gates.
It's Rhode Island, man. Popular destination.
Added to the list. Look at that. That's a good one. You getting that, Noodle?
List. You don't X-Plane.
Hey, add it to the list of must-haves. If I X-Plane, that's on the list. That's on the list right there. Sky 5, baby.
One day.
Sky 5. Very, very, very good submission there, Dread Metis. Thanks for looking out. You guys, thanks for a wonderful, wonderful week of news, or 2 weeks of news. We appreciate you joining us. And of course, we encourage you to check us out on Patreon. That's patreon.com/theskylounge.tv, and pick out an option for supporting to continue this great content coming. Thank you all so very much for joining. Sparky, Noodle, Kevin, much love to you guys. A wonderful show. Sky 5 to everybody. We'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Have a good one, guys.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, 063.
463, contact the New York Center 128.3.